Hello everyone, this is Ashley from Ashley's Creations, and I'm in front of the camera this time instead of behind it. You never get a chance to see me in person. You're always looking over my shoulder at my creations, so I thought I'd go ahead and pop up on the camera and tell you hi. I've been living in this condo with Andy for about, let me see, all of March, so March, April, and May, about 3 months now. We moved in the beginning of March, and I am just now getting my craft room to look the way that I want it. So I'm actually finally happy with the way that things have been set up. I had been waiting for my dad to put something on my wall, and Andy was making a ribbon holder for me, and I was trying to figure out where I wanted to put everything. And I'm actually kind of happy with the way everything has turned out now. I'm sure I'll come up with some different ways to change things around in the future if I don't like them, or if you have any suggestions of things that maybe I could do better, that would be nice. But I finally wanted to take you on a tour of my craft room. It's beautiful. I love it in here. If I could spend all my time in here, I would. Every time my friends come over, they tell me they absolutely love it, and they wish they could stay here more often, or they wish they could come over more often, but of course they can't. So I feel very blessed to have the space that I have, and all the stuff that I have. I'm going to have to start cutting back soon, because I'm a teacher, and school's coming up on the end, so I'm not going to get paid anymore for a couple of weeks. About 9 weeks or so, so I'm going to have to figure out how to still buy the stuff that I want. I'm going to watch my niece over the summer, so I'll get a little bit of money, but not as much as I was getting. So I'm going to have to start curving back a little bit, but I am blessed with what I have so far and what I've been able to buy. And I'm just going to go ahead and take you on a tour of my craft room. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to start. Okay, so here is a view of my craft room as you're coming down the stairs. So here's my stairs, and I come down the stairs, and this is what I walk into. I share the space with Andy, and of course, as you can tell, I have a lot more stuff down here than he does, so I've kind of taken over, but that's okay. So as I walk down, so I'm walking down, here's this side of the wall. Here is Andy's side. So he's got this bookshelf that my sister left over, and he's put some of his stuff in there, and then he's got his desk and his little Mustang model. We actually have that car right there. We have a little 2010 Shelby. Well, it's not a little, it's a real car, but we have a 2010 Shelby that looks like that, so he bought a bunch of models, as you can see, of our car, because he absolutely loves Mustangs, and he loves RC cars and stuff. So that's his area. That's my kitty. Say hi, Faith. She's my buddy. She's always down here with me. Andy has a cat too, but this one right here is mine. And then I'm gonna work you around. I'm actually gonna start from the other side, because this stuff is more of my favorite stuff, so I want to take you to my favorite stuff last. But here's just a pan of my room first, and then we're gonna start over here. So back there is the the storage, the laundry. We have a TV over here so that we can watch TV while I'm crafting and while Andy is riding his bike, because here's his bike right here, so he likes to cycle. So let's come over here. I have 2 bookshelves over here. This first bookshelf is a bookshelf that my sister left when she moved out, and up top I've got my laminator and all the stuff that I need for my laminator, and then right here is some the binding for my bind it all. Right here I have some of my scrapbooks. I have another one that's on the floor somewhere, and then scrapbook pages that I've completed. Here's my our latest scrapbook club one from my friend Michelle. She's my Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, even though I am a demonstrator too, but she's my upline, so I go over there for scrapbook club. Some mini photo albums. I haven't put anything in them, or scrapbook albums. I haven't done anything with those, but a wedding album that our friend bought for us. Here's my catalogs, my Stampin' Up! Close to My Heart, whatever. And then I have my Stampin' Success and my Cricut magazines, and then some other scrapbooking magazines. Down here I have some scrapbook trend magazines that I found for 50 cents at a yard sale at our local scrapbook store, Scrappy Chic. So I picked them up, even though they're kind of old, and it's just nice to have the ideas, even if you're just looking at it, to get a couple points here and there, see what you want to do. And then there's a little Valentine's Day countdown box that I made for Andy. My Your Story, the photo size one, and then the little photo albums that you can make, just a blank scrapbook case and some of that cheap paper from Joann's that I was buying before I knew about Stampin' Up! And all that stuff. And then down here is my bind it all, and then this is my scrapbook bag. It's got all my embellishments and stuff for scrapbooking that I take with me when I go on crops. And then down here is my bigger Your Story. So that's the full-size Your Story laminator and binder. And then right there I have my You Do Card Shop, the photo one, which I rarely use. I had to have it, and I used it like once. I do have the full-size one too to make t-shirts, and I have yet to use that, but I'm hoping to use it this summer to make a t-shirt for Andy's racing, because he races go-karts. And then I have the 12 by 24 Cricut paper right there, and along with the mats. There is the bag that I got from the Mega Meet this year. And then here is my Cricut bookshelf and my display area. So there's a lot of things that I've made up there. They're in order by they're in alphabetical order by Cricut Light, and the Cricut Expression cartridges are all up here. And then when you come down here, it starts the Cricut Imagine cartridges. Those are 2 owls I bought from a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I can't remember her name right now, but she makes a ton of these. I love them. I had to buy them. And then down here are some more cartridges. And these ones right here are ones that I have yet to enter my Cricut Awards for or put them in order, so those are sitting there. There's the photo boxes that I got from Michael's in Indiana, and another one. And then here's my Cricut cake machine, which I have also not used yet. I had to have that, and I haven't used that one either, because Andy doesn't let me bake because he thinks he's fat. So I don't get to bake a lot. Here's my swaps from regionals that there's so many good ones in here, but I haven't really had time to go through them again and make anything or do anything with them. But hopefully over the summer I'll have more time. So anyway, that's my my Cricut shelf. And here are some of my cards that I've made in here too. I'm going to use the photo boxes that I got from Michael's to put my cards in, but this was just a temporary solution for now. So there's my Cricut shelf, and then I'm going to move on. Over here I have my, it's not a Clip It Up, it's, I don't know, it's a Clip and Spin, I think. It's by the Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby. I have all of my My Pink Stamper stamp sets right here. These are all My Pink Stamper in the front here. You turn it around, I have some Stamper's Best right here. I only have a couple of those. I got a car one for Andy, and then this butterfly one. Janice from the YouTube channel that I watch all the time, she's Cricutologist something, I can never remember her numbers, but she is wonderful. She had this, and she did some really cool stuff with it, so I bought it too. And then I have a couple Peachy Keen stamp sets that Andy got me for Christmas. I love them. I haven't used them very much, but then again, I haven't used a lot of my stuff very much because I have so much of it. Those are some of the cheap stamps that I bought from Joann's way back before I knew about Stampin' Up! And all these other online sites. And then the little Darcy's one that I got from the Mega Meet. And then I have a couple K. Andrew design stamps. I love her stamp sets that I have. I've got some owl ones, the Fashionista one. So this one is the Fashionista one. And I have the Splash one. I haven't used this yet because I don't really have any cartridges with summer type stuff, but I'm going to go through my cartridges and find something because I like that one. And then these are all Cards TV stamp sets from Mary at cardstv.blogspot.com. She's got her own stamp sets, and she's absolutely fabulous. I love her as well. So I've got a bunch right here. And then I have a couple Lawn Fawn sets. I don't have that many, but there's some really cute ones that I want. This one is backwards. I have to flip it around. This one's really cute. I can't wait to use that one. And then that one right there. And then right here I have my glitter. This is a whole box of glitter from PK Glitz. I got them from the Mega Meet, so if you look at my Mega Meet video, I'll show you more about them. And then these are my mud puddles. So this is the stuff that looks like sand. So it is sand, so it'll dry like real sand on your paper or sea glass. So it's really cool to use on your beachy type projects. And then down below that I have my clear mount Stampin' Up! Stamps. So I have these two wooden shelves that my sister left. They were in her closet, but I brought them down here to be my stamp holders. So these are all of my clear mount stamps, and I don't ever get rid of mine. I'm just a hobby demo, so when they retire I keep them. So all those down there, and then this whole shelf is full, and I've started a new shelf. So I'll be getting more eventually. I mean, I already have a lot, but I'll be getting more when the new catalog starts. And these are the card keepers right there. I bought a bunch of them when they were on clearance, so I have a bunch right here. And then down here is my Cuttlebug in this cute little purple case. I put all my Cuttlebug folders and my Cuttlebug inside of there. And then an extra B plate for when my other one gets all scratched up. So that's my clear mount stamps from Stampin' Up. I love it. They're really easy access. And then right there is my Cricut cartridge bag. It's got all my cartridges in it from Seagull. So there's all the books and everything, and then you open it up and here's all the cartridges. Now that means all the cartridges over here are empty, but I like having them there anyway, so I know what I have and I know which order they go in. So I just like being able to look at them. It's just nice to see all the stuff that I have, and I use this so that I can take it with me to crops and stuff. So that way I have all my Cricut cartridges when I need them. And I do have a Gypsy, but I like having the booklets too. So, and this is one of my favorite parts of my craft room. I got these for my birthday. My birthday was in March, and my mom, she tried to order me some shelves from the Paper Studio, but they were going to be on back order until December. So I went searching myself, and I found these from mediashelving.com or something like that. There are 4 shelves right here. Each one holds 12 racks. So these are all of my 12 by 12 Stampin' Up! Paper. So right here, down here, I have all of the brights, and then it goes into the subtles, and then I come back up here and I have my neutrals, and then I put the neutrals up top because I would think I would use probably neutrals more than I would use the regals, because you know you're gonna use browns and grays and blacks and whites more often than color sometimes. So these are all my regals down here, and then down here I have my in color papers that are still current, my retiring in colors, and then the new in colors, 12 by 12 packs. And then I just have some paper packs that I have a ton of designer series paper. So I have a ton of this one from the Celebration catalog. I have a bunch of Twitter painted right here. I have a bunch of Spice Cake, some Summer Smooches. So I just picked some of the ones that I had a lot of and I liked more to put out to fill up those spaces down there. And then you come back over here, and in here I have all my paper tray ink stamp pads. So I have all of the ones that have been released except for black and white, but I keep them in here because I used to keep them on my other ink pad holder that you guys have seen in my other videos before, but they would fall off a lot, and I just wanted to put them all together in one area. The stacks were getting too high, and I couldn't deal with that anymore, so I moved them. And then my little Ink Essential blending foam things. And then this thing I carry around with me when I go to crops. It's got my edge punches, my corner rounder up top, and some decorative scissors back there. This one is all my markers, my aqua pens, blender pens, other pens back in there. And then down here is all my adhesives and tools. So scissors, glue, tweezers, tape runner, whatever, everything's in there. So that can go with me when I go places. And then I have this 6-drawer shelf down here. This has just some kind of random stuff in here. It's got some edge corner punches, a couple these little paper packs right here. Just a couple stamp sets on the bottom there, I think, too. I don't know. I don't really go in that drawer much. And then a little stapler that Michelle just bought for me. Thank you, Michelle. I can't get it in there. Ah. Down here I have all my embossing stuff. I've got my Halloween border punches, so I don't know what to do with them. I've got all of my embossing powder that is non-Stampin' Up! In there, and then my Versamark and my stay in here. So that's this drawer. And then down here, I've got some empty boxes. I'm going to probably end up getting rid of these. But here's my my craft Stampin' Spots, my brights, some padded envelopes. These are my scrub cleaners, my blocks, my re-inkers for my craft spots, and all my other blocks, my Ashley stamp, my spray. So I go in that drawer quite a bit. And then down here, it's Michelle's Lovely as a Tree stamp set that I have to return. But I also have my sponges for Stampin' Up. I don't have any sponges for paper tray ink, but that might be a smart thing to do so that I can sponge with their stuff too. I've never actually sponged with their stuff, but I could. So here's all my colors. I have 3 of these. And I'm hoping I have just enough room for my new ink colors. If not, I might have to go buy another one. I just have some more paper down here. This was a stamp set that got re-released, so Mary sent me a new one. My tape runner, and then I have tons and tons of this celebration ribbon from Stampin' Up, which I don't really like all that much anyway, but I have a ton of it, so there we go. Goes back. And then down here, which I pretty much never go down in these drawers, but I have some of the little coordination stacks. They have the nicest colors. They have the nicest paper. I love it for when I'm doing like Cricut cuts and stuff that I'm not worried about Stampin' Up matching. I have a ton of these little packs, so I can take them with me when I go on crops and stuff. So I have a bunch of colors to choose from. And then I have just some more paper. I don't know, some cards and envelopes, pre-made, some vinyl, Cricut vinyl. So there's just some paper and random stuff in there. And then down here, I don't really go in here much either. As you can tell, I can't even open it. It's got all my bind it all stuff. Something in there is sticking it up. There we go. I've got a stamp set in here too, apparently. So display thing. Little chipboard covers. I got a bunch of these things when they were all on sale, so I don't use my bind it all a lot, but you know, it's nice to have all these things when I do want to use them. So I've got a bunch of covers, more covers, different sizes, and then down there I've got the O wire. So I have it when I need to use it or when I want to use it. It's pretty much all O wire down on the bottom. So that's this little thing right here. Probably gonna get that clogged up again. And then we're going to move on now to my Jetmax storage cubes. I have a ton of them. Up top of this first row, I've got my ATG gun and some spare type. My decorative scissors, this is that shimmer spray from Stampin' Up, my Big Bite, my Xyron, some extra cartridges, and some bags in case I need them or something. And then right here is my wood mount Stampin' Up stamps. I have absolutely no more space in here, but that's okay because Stampin' Up is now going to offer all of their stamps in clear. So I don't have to buy any more wood stamps if I don't want to, so that's okay if they don't fit anymore because I don't have to buy anymore. So there's all my wood stamps. I have quite a bit of those too. And then in here is my Stampin' Up, some of my Stampin' Up embellishments. Here's some of my containers that are not on display over on that thing. So these are just the extra ones that I have more than one of. So I have several Brights buttons. This is all Brights buttons it looks like. I have a bunch of these brads from Celebration. My smooch spritz, just my embellishments, my mazes from the You're Amazing set, rhinestones, pearls, shaker frames, the winter stitched felt, and just some other random things back here. I don't really know, some clear bags and stuff. So this is, I used to hold all of my accessories, but once my dad put that thing up on my wall, I put them over there. Down here is just some more Stampin' Up stuff. There's my brayer, my hodgepodge hardware, some DVD cases. I think my Stampin' Majig is down there. My pastels are in here. My watercolor Wonder Crayons, the Sweet Treat cups, a sponge, some more Stampin' Up stuff. And then down here, I have all my envelopes, all my Stampin' Up envelopes, and then some paper. I think there's even more envelopes back there. Wow, I got a ton of envelopes. And then these are some of the retired colors, and I bought them from somebody. I bought the ink pads from somebody, so I went on eBay and I found the colors to go with it. And then these are all just paper packs of the in colors. I have a ton of them from the Celebration. And then my vellum, my glossy paper, my shimmer paper, my confetti paper, my silver paper. So this is all like the specialized paper. And then over here I have more card keepers. And then I have the Simply Scent kits, a bunch of these right here. That's pretty much what's all in there. And then I have the craft boxes. And then down here, I have my baker's twine and tons of fabric. That's all fabric back there. I have a ton of fabric. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but there's my color coach too. So that's that row.